Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic still looking like a restless king.
Ready to stop guessing and start growing as a trader. Welcome to Vici Trading Solutions, a community built by real traders for serious learners. We don't just post trades, we teach the why behind every move. With a full education section and daily breakdowns, you'll start seeing the market like a pro. You won't be trading alone. Inside the Vici Discord, you're surrounded by committed traders, from futures pros to rising crypto specialists, all learning and winning together. Gain first access to our exclusive indicators, powerful tools used daily by hundreds across TradingView and beyond. These aren't gimmicks, they're built to sharpen your edge. Each morning, our founder posts a full trading plan for the S&P 500 or NASDAQ and calls out the levels he's watching live. No fluff, just clarity. Education, tools, community. Whether you trade futures, stock, or crypto, Vici gives you the foundation and firepower to grow. Join Vici, trade smarter, conquer the markets.
Welcome back, everyone, and happy Monday. I hope everyone had a fantastic Mother's Day. I know I did. I got a chance to go make Mom some food, and then I got to work in her yard. So hell of a Mother's Day for me, but that's what it consisted of. It was all good anytime I can help. So first and foremost, give a shout out to the boys in the room. Jerry, pleasure, Qfy Cat, Shane, Signal. Nice to have you gentlemen here today. So guys, our trade plan kind of laid out on Sunday. Just a thought process that it might be a slow, kind of grindy day in the upside direction. And what's funny is in the post-market breakdown, I actually said that there was no news this week. And we had, I'm sorry, not a post-market breakdown, but the week in review. So there's no news this week. And that FOMC minutes were coming out on Wednesday, I think it was. And that was all we had. Well, I looked at the wrong week. I was looking at next week. So we actually do have some news this week, which we'll go over. Just because I need to correct myself there, we actually have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with some red tag news. So hopefully we'll break out of this range. Today was slow, more price discovery mode, which is exactly what we anticipated. And we're going to get into that. So that'll be fun. And we're going to do a quick once over as well, what to anticipate for tomorrow. I got to tell you, the Discord room made money today. I know that for sure. I think everybody made money in the Discord room but me, actually. So Shane could probably tell you better than I could. It was funny. I actually missed my long by one tick. And seems like everybody got it but me, whatever. But okay, we had some good calls and it was awesome. So money was made and people were happy and it was good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Mondays are generally a little bit slow for me. I actually take it easy. My statistics say Monday is actually my worst day. So I take it super easy on Mondays. I don't get all bent out of shape, for little profits or, like today, I just flat out missed it. Even though it was a banger trade. Oh my God, it was so good. And I missed it by a tick. But it's okay. I won't cry about it. I won't cry over spilled milk. I already did it on the stream. So in the Discord room today. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and then we're going to talk about a few other things. So guys, you know what to do. Follow me across all these socials, YouTube, X, Substack, and TradingView. Always some good stuff on there. If you are not following me, please do, and share, retweet, like. It really helps me out a lot. I really appreciate it. Believe it or not, as amazing content as we have, I still have like 500 followers on X. I used to have 4,000 or 5,000, and my account got compromised. So I had to start all over again in March of last year. And so we're basically coming on up over a little over a year on this new X account. And I would really appreciate your guys' help. So hook a brother up. That would be awesome. Super appreciate it. And obviously, share the love here. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, let's just go ahead and talk about news. I got some other exciting things coming up this week for you guys, and we're going to save that for later. So pretty chill day. So this was, just to kind of backtrack a little bit. I said there was no news, and so there is news. And tomorrow, pre-market is going to be a big day. Maybe it'll finally get us out of this range. And then again on Wednesday, we have core PPI. So two big inflationary numbers. One's basically from the industrial side, and one is from the retail side. And then on Thursday, we have core retail sales, which is another monster one. Are retail stores selling anything? Are they making money? Is the current spending going up? We don't know. We're going to find out. It's always a good market mover. Bob's in the house. Bob, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you showed up. So just wanted to make that little correction there. I was obviously looking at the wrong one. Actually, what I did, it was Sunday, and I said, let's look at next week's news. And of course, this is what we were looking at because Sunday is the beginning of the week. But hey, it is what it is. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the trade plan. Then we're going to talk about what to expect for tomorrow and kind of take a look around. Actually, interesting, VIX is on the rise, even though we've been pushing up this morning. So guys, as you know, I've been talking about how overextended we are for some time. But again, I've made it very clear that that doesn't mean we can't continue to move higher. Kems, what's up, buddy? Glad you made it over here. So, this is what I want to show you guys. And we talked about this. It's even more elevated today, and that's fine. Again, we are way outside the 2 standard deviation, which is certainly not normal from a value perspective. That means we are way outside of the normal range. Again, we don't know when they're going to pull back, but we know that we are certainly overextended. And so, today started to look a little interesting, a little toppy, a little bit. We have very light volume today. I had to be honest. We had low relative volume coming into the day. We actually moved exactly how far we were supposed to, which was about 50-ish points. And so it was a pretty textbook day. And so now we're just really going to get in to see what happens to tomorrow. But I wanted to show you guys this. We were just super overextended. And then today, we closed at basically 74.35. So almost actually up a little bit higher than where our close was at on Friday. So we are just continuing to push outside of value like a mofo. And something that certainly has my attention. I'm not scared to buy. I'll tell you that, because there's no reason to be. As of this point in time, we have been holding support. So as long as we continue to hold support, we're going to continue to move higher. And that's just how it is. So I will say this, though, we are overextended and we do have thin support below, which we're going to get into when we start talking about what to expect for tomorrow. So we talked about it very much detail in the weekend review. If you haven't had a chance, check it out. But the big level we're going to focus on today is the 73.99.25 that actually played in the Globex Open. And they turned around and got super close to playing it again today, right before the market opened around 8 a.m. So we have some price discovery action going on, as you guys know, which is pretty much what's been happening at all-time highs. We're cruising, thin support, in a patience game. Guys, this really is one of the more difficult times in trading. This is really when new traders start blowing out accounts or losing a lot of money. This is typical summertime slowdown bullshit. We've kind of come into it a little bit early, but this is pretty standard stuff. All-time highs, low relative volume, summertime play, and so the market really can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. All we can do is kind of stay patient with it. The best thing that you can do is really just wait for your setups, wait for the reclaims, and really just kind of chill. It's hard to do that when you're on a time frame trying to pass a prop account, or you feel like you absolutely have to make money. It certainly can make things a little bit more frustrating. But guys, I'm telling you, patience pays in situations like this. This is buy the dip territory. Just wait for the dip. So that's basically it. As we know, the rocket ship was looking like the weekly was looking like a rocket ship, as you can see, and the 4-hour time frame has been nothing but an aggressive series of green candles with very few meaningful pullbacks. this is super bullish, but it also creates a problem for us, right? Because support becomes extremely thin underneath. This is why I want everyone to focus on the exact above or below levels this week, because we are definitely still bullish, but we need to know what we are above or below when things start to change. And I think that is going to make the difference for everybody this week, because we are flirting with this level, and we're going to get into it here real shortly. So the week is all about patience, overextended, outside of value. The weekly and daily profiles show inefficiencies above and below, which we'll soon get into again. The upside bullish and balance can take us to 75.09, but the support underneath is thin because the market's been pushing up vertically without a meaningful rotation, and we have a lot of inefficiencies below. So back to the real key here at hand, 73.99.25 holds, we can continue higher, right? So we'll just go ahead and get into that right now. So here it is with the weekly TPOs, guys. I have the before and after. This is over the before over here on the weekly side. We talked about if they pushed above this 74.28, we'd start going in, price discovery mode and get up here into this bullish imbalance that was created and left from the absence of a value area high from last week. As you can see, we have some inefficiencies below as well. And the point of control at 73.64 is really our big pivot. What's up, Bryce? Good to see you. I didn't know if you were going to come today. Bryce is one of the ones who caught money, of course. Big surprise. So anyways, back to this. 74.28 is the breakout above level. As you can see, it's exactly what we did here today. We came down to that 7,400 spot. We continue to push up as we are still continuing to push higher. We could definitely come higher into 7,500 and kind of clean up this area here. We don't know that for sure, right? But that's basically what the imbalance shows us. And then, of course, if they break below, we're going to come down in here and fill this gap. But first target, of course, is going to be the point of control. This is a big spot, guys. I mean, this is really going to be a make it or break it for us at this level. I think I showed this to you. There's some small 1 hour support here. But really, truly, what played, of course, is the 74 or 73.99 or the 7,400 area. So just getting into VIX, we didn't really talk about it too much in the weekend review, but you guys know what it is. The 1744 was a massive monthly for us to be above or below. It kind of kept us contained a few different times, or it was very bullish above, which led the ES down. But what was really interesting was this morning we actually sold, are popped up above here, and usually on Mondays you can almost guarantee that we're going to be elevated in the VIX, and then they sell it back and start to fill the gap. That did not happen today. I was even talking about it in the stream. I was very surprised. This is probably the first time in 20 or 25 times that we've seen that not happen. We actually stayed up here right around this resistance, and ultimately it did fall. And that is where we got our end of the day, not end of the day, but middle of the day, afternoon, kind of pull back and ramp up that we had at early morning. It was really interesting because we just sat here, and it was just very interesting. I thought they were going to fall much sooner, and I was kind of, playing the game with the ES at that point in time. And this gave us a nice indication, but now we've really pushed up above the 1829. We've closed the daily above this area now. So technically they are free to go back up here. Will be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow with this 1829. I have some areas that I'm watching, and we're going to get into it because it's not a lot of spots. I think we can kind of buzz through it pretty fast. And so we'll talk about how this is going to become a very important tiebreaker for us, because really above 1744 on the monthly, we start to get a little suppression on the indices. We didn't see much of it today, to be quite honest, but this has been the true blue level for us for quite some time. So this was an interesting predicament that we found ourselves in today, with VIX kind of holding here while ES pushed higher. But hey, it is what it is, right? So let's go ahead and get into the next one here. So as you guys know, I talked about the daily time frame, and really what I wanted to focus on here was the two big levels, and really the one big level. That is the 73.99 that we talked about in the weekend review that, we were really basing everything on, right? And basically we hold 73.99 and we go in price discovery mode, or we push below it and we come back into the 60s and we try to pop back up. And then ultimately this is our next big untested daily area here, because if we push below here, we don't have shit for daily support. Doesn't mean they can't find something on the smallers and push themselves back up. But from a daily time frame perspective, underneath 99 sends us to 64, which is a pretty freaking far drop of over 130 points. So let's go ahead and get into this. You guys are going to think this is fun. I know I did. It's not that I like being right. It has nothing to do with it. I just like being able to see things before it happens. It's nice to have a process that works so well that I can basically confidently get in front of 1,000 people on stream and say, here's what I think is going to happen. And this is exactly what happened. We talked about the 7,400 to 7,402. This is the key area of support. It aligns with the 02 area, the 99. This is our first major above below zone for upside continuation. If this area holds, do we all know if it did or not? You know we did. The bulls can keep control and continue pressing higher. The setup is to pull back into 99 and 02. And I'm expressing 02 once again because this actually played. It was actually untested still in the morning, which is, I'm not going to get into that, but it sends the ES back into all-time price discovery mode. This is what I actually took this, drawing the screenshot from the weekend review video right before we came in so that we could kind of see what's happening here. This is the actual price action that happened. So this is where we close. This is a 1 hour chart. Obviously this is a 4 hour chart, but same thing. We gapped open down here on Sunday. We held the 98, 99 area, kind of flirted with it all day. And then check this out. This 02, you see that? See, that's the 4 hour here at 02. We actually had an options pivot at 03. Look, they bent right down into it, touched 02 perfectly. And that was our launch for the morning, which was pretty crazy. So, even though it held in the middle of the night, they basically reset this level and allowed it to get played again about 8 o'clock in the morning. And we just ramped it right up into our massive call wall at 74.53. I want to give a shout out to Billy on this. Billy in the Discord room. This guy was talking about shorting 53 all morning. He just kept saying, well, we're going to push up and I'm going to short 53. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, cool. It's a big call wall. Like I totally get that. But, I don't just short call walls in price discovery mode. And he nailed it. So, obviously, I'm sure he waited for it to, get a reaction or whatever. But just big salute to him because I was laughing at him when he said it because, we're like, at this point, we're like 20 points away. And I'm like, man, this guy's really confident. And lo and behold, as you guys can see right here, this was the call wall. And bam, it fucking nailed it. So nice call, Billy. Love that. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. What up, Kay? Glad to see you can make it, bro. You actually showed up right on time. We're going to talk about tomorrow here in a second. So here's the two levels that we really called out in real time for the Discord room, which was great. 74, 20, 50. Guys, I know there's some guys in the stream laughing at me right now. I'm going to say it again. I always front run by 5 ticks, you guys. I talked about it in the webinar, the whole 9 yards. Well, we had these two levels here. There was 20 and 18. So you know what I did? I decided to front run by 4 ticks instead of 5 because, it's a little zone and I'm probably going to take a little heat. Negative. Missed me by a point, went right up 26 points to new all-time highs. And I was the only one basically sitting there holding my junk, you know what I mean? And I'm like, everybody, I don't know about everybody, but I know there was a handful of people in the Discord room that was able to catch this long because I called it. I'm like, guys, this is the spot. We want to buy this, right? We want to buy from here to here. And I fucking missed it. Anyways, and then I had to go get my blood drawn. And I'm telling you, I left about, 12 o'clock, about right here. And I told everybody, listen, the next big buy for us is going to be pull back into VWAP. We want to see it hold VWAPs and continue higher. Again, played VWAP not once, but kind of came down twice and kind of rolled into it. And again, another 20-point call. So, the Discord room paying dividends for sure. I actually did not get a trade off today. I missed that entry down here. I didn't trade, didn't chase it. It was, like I said, Mondays aren't my strong suit. So I'm like Garfield. I'm still coming out of my hangover, my food coma from hanging out at mom's. And so that was that for the day. But we had some great calls. Guys made some money. And, the trade plan did what it was supposed to. In all actuality, we talked about the levels we need to hold and the things that are going to happen. And that is exactly what we were able to expect today, which was pretty freaking cool. And I love those options levels. They just continue to pay dividends over and over and over again. So let's go ahead and get into exactly, what I think is going to happen for tomorrow, or just what I see up and coming. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because we'll basically be regurgitating the weekend review. If you haven't seen that, please go ahead and check it out. And then we're just going to kind of talk about the 4 hour real quick. I might even pull the 1 hour over just for a little look-see. But so let's go ahead and check this out. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull this over as well, just so you know. Don't discount the fact that we could go to 75.09. First off, I'm not sure we're going to get there, okay? But don't discount the fact that they can't, right? It doesn't matter how far out of value we are, the whole 9 yards. They could go all the way up there before we rotate. We don't really know, okay? We haven't lost support. I used to be the guy that thought it was too high, and so I was just going to start shorting arbitrarily. Now I would never think about doing that, and I do not suggest that you do that either. A lot of pain and misery is caused by a death by 1,000 cuts, or a blown account by 1,000 cuts, whatever you want to call it. So please don't think that we can't get there. We're just right now, we're still cruising to the upside, and that is about all I got to say about that. However, once again, guys, and this is very, very clear on the 4-hour time frame. It was very clear on the daily when I showed it to you the first time. Let me pull up my pen here. Hopefully it works. Guys, this is still the big above below level for us. 73.99 is still really what it's going to take for us to continue our upside move. Okay, so we went ahead and played this level here, 20. They held the 99. We popped up, we pulled back, we played 20. They made a new all-time high. Okay, that's essentially how it looks on the 1-hour time frame. All right, now we do have some support below us. We have this 74.14. I don't really like it. For me, this is a contained level. In fact, I'm going to remove it. But you know, just for our sake here, 74.08 is the new 4-hour leg to the high. It is a small contained leg, but it is, again, like this. So actually, let me rephrase. Let me do this again, because I got K and Bryce. I hope you're paying attention here. All right, so this was the first little leg that they tested here. They've made another leg right here, okay? On this push-up that tested this, we've made this. Just keep in mind that this area right here, 08, is technically contained. The only thing is we're leaning on 99 very hard, and our stop is extremely relevant and extremely small, in my opinion. You know, it's 08.75, and everything goes bad under 99.25. Okay, we know they have to hold this. Okay, so if this level is going to play, we actually have a few small little areas on the inside that we can get above. But if 08 plays and we get back above 20, we're basically going to do the whole thing over again. Okay, just keep an eye on this 20 for above below. If we get sucked back into this area, it's going to be kind of a big deal. If they can't get back above 20, though, you guys know what we're going to do. We're going to come down, and then we're going to check out this spot right here at 64. So just ultimately, it really comes back to the way our daily looked when I showed you guys last time, when I had it drawn out. And it really is truly like this, guys. It really, really, really is. We stay above 99.25, we continue price discovery. Below it, we come down, and then we could come all the way down into here. And that's really where I'd like to just kind of keep this with you guys instead of, you know, drawing this out. I'm going to pull the 1 hour over and just to kind of discuss this here. Throw this on here. So check this out. As you can see, here's the 98, the 99 daily, the 02, right? It's very clear. Underneath here, we come down into this big leg up down here, which is the 60s area, 73.60s. As long as we stay above this, we stay up, right? To me, this is tested now. 20's tested. Could they come down into 18 and play? Sure, why not? But we'll see what happens. For me, I really like this 08. It's a 4-hour, 1 hour. We want to see them pull back in here, get back above 12, basically, and 18, and then we can continue to boogie higher. Otherwise, we're coming down. That's it. I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse. We're not gonna keep talking about things that are irrelevant just to keep the time going. That is where I'm going to finish it. So it's going to be a quick early day today. I'm going to stop right there. I hope everyone had a great day today. I know the Discord room paid a little dividend. So congratulations to all you guys in there. Kay, I'm glad you like this. Try to drop a jewel or two every time we do this. And even though we're ending early, this kind of sets you guys up for success tomorrow. Shows you the area that I'm truly looking at for a buy. There's really only one, right? And then a reclaim. And then we know where everything goes to shit underneath there. So as we continue to push these all-time highs, believe it or not, all-time highs, they're fairly easy to trade if you think about it. You just buy. You just wait for the pullback. You buy the support. If that support doesn't work, you shift momentum and you come down, because at this point, we keep moving. We've tested everything. So you have one place to buy. If that doesn't work, guess what? You're coming down. So it's just buy until proven otherwise. However, I will say this. We have continued to move up in extremely overbought fashion. So at some point in time, one of these supports are not going to work. So that's why it's very important to just size appropriately, keep your risk in check, because we could do this for another 2 weeks. We don't know. Or it could fail tomorrow. So it's why risk is always so important to keep in check, because you just don't know when the top is in. When I say top, it doesn't even mean top, but just a chance to actually pull back 100 points. I mean, we're up so high right now that 130 points brings us back to our first daily level. It's insane. It's, I mean, absolutely unreal. So anyways, with that being said, I appreciate everybody spending the afternoon with me. And again, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the post-market breakdown. And of course, the trade plan will be out at 8:30 in the morning. You guys have a good one, and talk to you soon. And tomorrow we'll conquer the markets. Cheers.